Greetings, everyone. I'm just here doing a little, I guess you'd call deck tech. Just showing off some decks I have. Right here is my my vampire deck. I've got these Dragon Shield sleeves, and they always seem to fucking just slip and slide all over the place. I've had them for months, and they still just slip so much. So my deck tech. So my commander, I love this particular. I got this in a trade a long time ago. So I use this weird blood red hollow sleeve for Edgar Markov, and the retro frame print as well. Didn't go retro frame foil because that was a bit too much. But I love retro frames. That's the generation I'm from. I started playing back in '94. First starter deck I ever had. My dad bought my brother and myself a revised starter deck kit from Walden Books way back when in '94, Christmas of '94. So I'm used to the retro frames. It's what I like. Modern, it works, but like I think retro frames just so cool. Especially retro frame foils. It just looks so good. So I've thrown some new things in this deck, etc. So Nighthawk Scavenger. It buffs itself from other people's graveyards, and it's got flying, death touch, and lifelink, which is nice. Only costs 3, two black and 1 colorless. Boros Charm. You know, this is a Mardu deck, so Boros Charm, it works so well in it. You can just bolt something, or you can give all your permanence protection, or you can give a creature double strike if you want. Have my Edgar buffed up and then give him double strike for however much commander damage. New card that came out in Aether Drift. I love it. Pardon my voice. For whatever reason, my throat's not the best these days. Accursed Duneyard. This is so good. It gives you the regeneration things of like Swarm Yard, except at a cost. But there's so many things you can regenerate. Shade, Skeleton, Spectre, Spirit, Vampire, Wraither, Zombie, like all the, spooky decks. They now have regeneration for most of the creatures. Stained Glass Lands, I like those. Promo, buy a box Castle Dracula, for Voldaren Estate, essential, good version of mana fixing for a vampire deck. Olivia, Crimson Bride, good commander on her own, but stellar in this deck as well. So you can just if you're attacking with her, you can just grab a creature from any graveyard, put it in the battlefield tapped and attacking. It becomes just your creature. And then when you don't control legendary vampire, exile this creature. So yeah, you can just turn all their creatures against them. Eldrazi Monument, fairly cheap, buff for all your creatures. They all get 1/1, flying, and are indestructible. Pretty par for the course for vampires. And you have to sack a creature, but there's some sack outlets in this deck anyway, so it doesn't matter. Another mana fixing, Reflecting Pool, good card. Foil Stained Glass. Olivia's Wrath, just a good board wipe, not a good vampire-centric board wipe. It's very symmetrical. You're playing vampires, no one else is, probably, at the table, so everything gets -X, which fixes the old indestructible bullshit. And X is the number of vampires you control. And with Edgar, your most turns you're putting out one vampire at least. Stained glass planes, dark ritual, important. Mana fixing. You know, the black lotus, as it were, except it costs one, but yeah. Useful. These are going up in price too. Keep an eye on them. Vampire buff. All your vampires get +1/+1 in first strike. Original, what is it, Shadows over Innistrad? I think so. Because I bought a box of this ages ago. This is actually one of my original cards, I'm pretty sure. Glasscast Heart, that's from the Blood Rites precon from Lost Caverns, Ixalan. I just thought I'd throw that in here. Blood tokens are great. Lets you pay a life to create a black and white vampire as well, so you can create more vampires aside from just him. Vault of Champions, everybody loves the fucking crowd lands, so good. Renewed Solidarity. Now this was in the Aether Drift zombie deck precon, but it works so good for this because, like, yes, you're making tokens in the zombie deck, but so are you in this. In fact, this is what all this deck is all about. It's not just something that the deck does. It's something you have. Edgar, you don't even have him out. He's got eminence. So every time you fucking cast a vampire, you're pumping out a 1/1 black vampire creature token. So when that happens, during your end step, for each token that you've created, create a token that's a copy of it. So if you made 3 vampire tokens, you get 3 more at the end of the turn. So I decided to just stick this in this deck because I think it works probably a little bit better. Another stained glass, Toxic Deluge, so good. I like to do -X or minus any number board wipes because it just circumvents indestructible. 3 Tree City works so good in this deck. Vampires. 3 Tree City is like one of the best lands to come out. Best lands to come out since fucking Cabal Coffers, Agadeem's Crypt, or friggin' Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx, any of those. This one, I think this is one of the best lands in the last 15 years. Another crowd lane, Spectator Seating. Carmen's Cruel Sky Marcher. So anyone else that sacrifices a permanent, but that also includes you, put a 1/1 counter on her, and you gain a life. And when she attacks, put 1 target permanent card with mana value less than or equal to her power from your graveyard to the battlefield. So she's doing recursion as well. Unclaimed Territory, which is a creature-specific mana fixing. Stained Glass Mountain, Twilight Prophet, pretty good. So if you've got 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing the rest of the game. Awesome. And once that happens, you reveal the top card of your library, put it in your hand. Each opponent loses X life. You gain X life, where X is the card's mana value. What a revelation. It's a fairly decent creature, fairly decent effect. And there's also there's a Planeswalker in here that does a very similar thing for really no conditions on it. But this is a backup for that. Plains, Insatiable Avarice, again, one of the best friggin' tutors to come out in the last 5 years. And still cheap, $4 to $6 for these, depending on full art, foil, that sort of thing. I bought a couple while they were cheap just because they're awesome. You can cast it for 1 black. Sorcery, you choose your spree, which is +2 or +2 black. The +2 is search your library for a card, shuffle it, put it on the top. It's like Vampiric Tutor. Or 2 black, target player draws 3 cards and loses 3 life. So in a pinch, you can use it. Get yourself some card draw. Sweet Commander Master's Soul Ring, love those. Bought a whole bunch of these while they were still $8 each. Now they're like $15 to $18 each. Rise of the Dark Realms, a nice little win condition. Dropped in price heaps. First one I paid 15 for it, and that's because it was a bit beat up. And then I pulled one in Jumpstart 2020, and that one was full worth 20 or 25 bucks. Now they're worth like fucking $5 because they've been reprinted so many times. They're in foundations. Doesn't mean I don't love them. I'm not mad that they're cheap now. It means I can buy more of them and put them in more decks. Drana's Emissary. This is a sweet vampire. Flying. Beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses a life and you gain one. Beautiful. Perfect. Bloodline Keeper. Another card that used to be expensive. I paid out the ass for one. Well, I traded for this one. But basically the trade was CK1-1. This would have been $20, $25. Now it's $5 or $6, maybe less. I'll say $4 to $6. Am I mad that it's cheap now? No, it means I can put more of them in decks. So Sorin, Grim Nemesis, Planeswalker, so good. The plus ones like that Twilight Prophet, reveal the top card of your library, put that card in your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to its converted mana cost. For its +1, fucking beautiful. No conditions, you just +1 it and do that. Then it's -X, you deal X damage to target creature or planeswalker, you gain X life. And then -9, put a number of 1/1 black vampire knight creature tokens with lifelink into the battlefield, equal to the highest life total among all players. Someone's not been touched yet, and you manage to pull that off, that's 40 fucking vampire tokens. Lightning Greaves, because we want to protect our Edgar. Flawless Maneuver, because we want to protect our creatures. Swords to Plowshares, to answer creatures. Vampire of the Dire Moon, slick little one casting cost of Vampire from M20. Now we're in Jumpstart Foundations Jumpstart. Price on it has not changed. It's still over $1 for this thing because it's Death Touch Lifelink 1/1. It's a great little creature for one black. Legion's Landing, so good. Perfect for a vampire deck. From the original original Ixalan. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 vampire creature token with lifelink. Beautiful. Creates you a creature off the bat. And when you attack with 3 or more creatures, transform it. So you transform it, and it turns into a legendary land, a Danto the First for it. Add a white to your mana pool. Perfect. 2 colorless and a white. Create a 1/1 white vampire creature token with lifelink. So you can just start pumping out vampires. Beautiful. So it's another vampire creation thing. That's also a land. Mana fixing as well. Caves of Kylos. Originally from Ice Age, been reprinted so many times, it's worth like 5 fucking cents. Well, it's worth more than $2 or $3 because it's the full art one, but cheap. Stained Glasses. Austere Command, cheap as hell. So cheap and reprinted so many times. Used to be worth $4 or $5. Now it's worth 5 cents. Well, more like $1 on a good day. Am I mad? No, I can put them in all decks that have white in it. It's such a good board wipe. And you can choose your board wipes. Do I want to have everything that's 4 or greater, leaving all my vampires, or most of my vampires untouched? Do I want to destroy everything smaller than my bigger creatures? Enchantments, artifacts, and you can choose 2 as well. So I could do 4 or more and then get rid of enchantments or artifacts. Veto. This is the 30th anniversary veto. I love this foil treatment. So good. It's cheap too. I think it's still cheap, but snatch them up because you never know when they're going to go up. So good though. Veto is such a good member of the 99 or awesome commander. But whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. And you can give all your creatures lifelink. So good. Etched foil lotus petal. Look at that beauty. I love that. This was for the 30th birthday party events. I managed to get I actually went to one of these events, got one, bought one off eBay before that, and I've managed to trade for another one on top of a normal one that I have. So I have 4 lotus petals, but 3 of them are these 30th birthday ones. And they're not cheap. They're not getting cheaper. They're just going up. So if you can get one for a reasonable price, grab them. Because I think it's one of the best lotus petal treatments. Master of the Dark Rites. So good. Sack a creature. Dark Ritual. You can only spend it to cast vampires, clerics, or demon spells. All right, you can't use it to cast anything but creatures in your deck, but you know, during a certain point, if this is in my first hand and I put down a swamp, I can immediately start, I can put this out, get a creature from the Eminence from Edgar Markov, and immediately just sack it to bring out a bigger creature the following turn. Beautiful card. It's pretty cheap. $4 or under, I think I want to say it is. Great card. Recommend it. It probably works awesome in other decks, not just Vampire deck, any black deck. Put it in. Raucous Theater, one of the Surveil lands from friggin' Karlov. It sucks because it comes into play tapped, but you can surveil. You can look at the top card, and that's why they're not cheap. And I just pulled another one of these the other day. So recommend the Surveil lands. They're actually pretty cool. Cruel Celebrant, so good. Another way to ping your opponents. Whenever another creature or planeswalker you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1. Perfect. The pathways, they're perfect as well in here. Some stained glass swamps. Exquisite Blood. Whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. The original fucking Exquisite Blood. So good. Useful and still expensive. $20 or more. And it's been reprinted a few times. So that tells you how good it is. Welcoming Vampire. Now I love the double feature treatment. Innistrad double feature. I bought a box and happened to pull this from it. I love the black and white. I love the movie monster feel of that set. It's so good. It's a slept on set. Buy a box. They're not super cheap. You're probably going to pay $200, $250, somewhere between $200 and $250 for a box. But some of the foils in them are worth hundreds. And just the fact that it's a double feature treatment versus the normal Innistrad or Midnight Hunt or what's the other one? Crimson Vow. Just because it's a double feature, it's probably worth more than the normal versions. Stained Glass. Cavalleno, the commander for the Blood Rights precon. Still a great vampire. Do I want him as my commander? No. Is he a good commander? Yes. Cheap as hell too. He's $1 or less, depending on the treatment. And he'll turn vampires into 4/3 black and white vampire demons with flying. Damn. Not much more to say about this. Been reprinted into the ground. Worth $2 or less today. It used to be like 15 or 20 bucks for a dam. Just because you've got black and white in this deck, I can use it as removal during my turn if I need to, just for a creature, or I can overload it for 2 white and 2 colorless, and it turns into a Wrath of God. So it's got dual purpose. Chromox. I've gotten my hands on a few of these in recent years, and I'm glad I have. Every chance I get to get one at the right opportunity and the right time, I will. I've got 3, and they're in all my decks. Well, all the decks that need them. Holding on to them, and I love the Mirrodin treatment. I'll never get anything that's not the Mirrodin. Secluded Courtyard. Add 1 mana of any color. It's another, basically more color fixing. Voldaren Epicure. It's a good card. All my opponents take a damage when it comes out, and I create a blood token. Martyr of Dusk. When he dies, create a white 1/1 vampire creature token with lifelink. Sweet. Shocklands, Blood Crypt, need it. Sorin, another card that, because of a recent reprint, it went down to fucking $4 or $5. Sorin Imperious Bloodlord. Great card. Was $50 for a minute there, and then once it got banned, come right back down to earth to 10 or 15. And now that it's been reprinted recently, cheap as hell, $4 or $5, depending. I love the retro frame foil treatment, so that's what I got. Another shock, Charismatic Conqueror. I do have the precon treatment, but I've had this one for a while. This deck has gone through many incarnations, so yeah. Whenever an artifact creature or creature enters the battlefield untapped and under an opponent's control, they may tap that permanent. If they don't, I create a vampire. Beautiful. Fetch land. just cause I have them. Another shock, Elenda. She's a great creature to have in here. When she dies, create vampires. Great, captivating vampire. I can gain control of other people. Once I have 5 vampires on the table, including him, I can just start taking control of other people's shit. Sundown Pass. The lands from Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow, they're actually sat on, underrated, and they're good. They're great for Commander. Generous Gift, great for removal. Bloodthirsty Conqueror, disgustingly good card. When opponent loses life, you gain that much life. And with him and a couple other cards, you can get an infinite combo out that drains everybody. And there's more than one way to do that in this deck. Blood Artist, I love that treatment from Double Masters 2022. I've got a few of these. So good. Drana and Linvala is a disgusting commander in its own right, but in this vampire deck, just disgusting. There's so many good disgusting cards in here. It has all activated abilities of all creatures my opponents control, and I can spend mana as though it were mana of any color to activate those abilities. And activated abilities of creatures your opponents control can't be activated. So it's a little stacksy in here. Sorin, Vengeful Bloodlord, as long as it's your turn, creatures and planeswalkers you control have lifelink. So all my creatures will have lifelink with this guy. And the +2, it deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. So I can start pinging planeswalkers and players. And I can return a creature card with converted mana cost X from graveyard to the battlefield. That creature is a vampire for -X. Great card. Cathar's Crusade, again, another card that was $15, $16 a year and a half ago. Due to a recent reprint or two, now it's down to the $4 to $6 mark. Am I upset? No, it means I can put more of them in more decks. Kindred Boon. Enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Vampires. Put a divinity counter on target creature you control of the chosen type. Each creature with the divinity counter on it has indestructible. So I got a way to put indestructible on all my creatures. Blood Chief Ascension. This is what I'm debating on because is it really necessary in this deck? I mean, this deck has so many ways to overkill people, but whenever a card is put in an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, if Blood Chief Ascension has 3 or more quest counters on it, you may have that player lose 2 life. If you do, you gain 2 life. And at the beginning of each end step, if an opponent lost 2 or more life that turn, you may put a quest counter on Blood Chief Ascension. It works in this deck. It really works in it, but it's something I've debated about cutting. I don't know. The Verges, good. One of the few good things to come out of Aether Drift. Blood Petal Celebrant, another not bad card from the recent Innistrad sets. Legion Lieutenant, other vampires get +1/+1, another buff. D2, can't go wrong with them. I've got a whole play set of them. I came here with none, and now I've got 4. So, yeah, they go in decks that really deserve them. Again, when I get a good chance, if it's the right time, the right moment, the right trade, I'm always looking for a D2. Maze of Ith, again, a card I've been using for 30 plus years. It was good 30 years ago, and it's still good now. Maze of Ith, untap target attacking creature. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and by that creature this turn. Saves your ass every time. Little pill of 40 land, costs you nothing to come out. And if you've got like an Urborg or what, you have my Cradle of Growth out, it'll also tap for land with that. Sangromancer, whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain that much life. Whenever opponent discards a card, you may gain that much life. This is just a good all-rounder deck. Neonate, Blood Crazed, from the original Innistrad, because I bought 2 boxes many moons ago. Sorin Markov. His +2 ability, you can just do 2 damage to any creature or player and gain 2 life. That sort of pinging ability for +2 is valued. -3, target opponent's life total becomes 10. People fear this card. When hits the table, people are trying to take him out immediately. And then for the -7, you basically, it's like Mindslaver for -7. Stained Glass Swamp. Vermin Gorger from Modern Horizons 2. Such a good card. Tap it, sack another creature. Each opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. It's just good sack out light. Stormkirk Noble, can't be blocked by humans. It's just a good red 1/1 vampire. Marauding Blight Priest, a combo piece, but also 2 colorless and a black for 3/2 that whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. A slept on card, I think it's so good. This card should be worth more than it is. It's a sub dollar card, sub 50-cent card. It should really be worth $1 or $2. Falkenrath Exterminator, just because you want some red vampires in here. Does vampire things, and it'll do damage to target creature equal to the number of 1/1 counters on it for 2 and a red, which isn't bad. Feast of Blood, you can destroy. It's just a vampire condition specific. As long as you've got 2 or more vampires, it'll destroy a creature, and you'll gain 4 life. Skull Clamp for my little vampire beasties, gotta love it. I got this in a great deal in the last year. No, a year ago, over a year ago, I'll say. No, not over a year ago. Close to a year. It'll be a year next month that this deal went through. It was so good. I couldn't pass it up. But yeah. Bloodletter, part of a combo piece in here as well. Plus just a really good vampire. If an opponent would lose life during your turn, they lose twice that much life instead. It's just disgusting. Creeping Bloodsucker. Still, after being reprinted in Jumpstart, what is it? All right, this is Jumpstart 2022. That's when this was originally printed, $5 or $6 common. Now it's been reprinted in Foundations Jumpstart. Still $5 or $6 common. So good. At the beginning of your upkeep, it deals damage to each opponent, and you gain life equal to damage this way. So you're gaining 3 life each upkeep just from this little bastard. Anjay, Maid of Dishonor. Now, I think personally she's a slept-on commander. Or a card in the 99 for any vampire deck. 4 to bring out, 4 or 5. Whenever Anjay or 1 or more vampires enter the battlefield under your control, create a blood token. This ability triggers only once each turn. Then 2, and sack another creature or a blood token. Each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. She's like a sub-dollar rare vampire commander. Easily in the 99 as well. Personally, I think with the abilities she's got, she should be like $3 to $5. $3 at least. Blasphemous Act, reprinted so many times. Am I mad about it? No, because it goes into decks with red. It's a great, you're playing Commander, and everybody's got tons of friggin' creatures out. This card costs 1 red to fucking do a board wipe. Another fetch. And Falkenrath Aristocrat. Sack a creature. This baby gets indestructible until end of turn. And if that sacrificed creature was a human, put a 1/1 counter on it. Oh well, Flying Haste. And I can sack a creature and ping someone for 4 and have this lady be indestructible. Awesome. And then with Edgar rarely comes out. As a friend that I shout out that I play with, his name's Ben, in this Commander play group we play with locally. He calls it a smooth brain commander. It's a smooth brain commander deck. Edgar never comes out. He's just making vampires every time I create a vampire. If he comes out, he's cool. But I can just leave him in the command zone since he's got Eminence, and he just does shit from there. It's a good deck, and I love it. I've been tweaking it and changing things for months over the past 6 months, and this thing off and on. And it's at a point now where I beat the table, and now I've got the proper tokens that I need, and finally a blood token. Been waiting for that. So yeah, that is my Vampire Commander deck tech, if you will. Just thought I'd show you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you like and subscribe. I hope you tell all your friends. All right, guys, be good, stay safe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.